Today, it's the Class 5A Division II championship football game between the Fighting Farmers of Lewisville and the Aldine Macarthur Generals. Hello again, everyone. I'm Craig Way. Happy to have you with us for another state high school football championship game right here on HSE. Last week, the Division I title game saw Converse Judson defend its title by defeating Plano. Now, those two schools were veteran playoff teams accustomed to playing for all the marbles. Here in the Astrodome today, there are two teams, relative newcomers to the state championship round. Lewisville has made only one appearance in its long and storied football tradition in the championship round. That was back in 1972, losing to the Uvalde Coyotes 33-28 down in Austin. For the Generals of Aldine Macarthur, well, it's their first trip at all to the state championship round. Macarthur won a coin flip with Lewisville between the Astrodome and Texas Stadium to host this game here in the Dome this afternoon. Let's introduce you to the gentlemen who will be calling today's action, Kevin Eschenfelder and Dave Elmendorf. And guys, run, run, run. Is that an accurate way to describe today's layout between these two teams?
Yeah, Craig Way, I think that's a very accurate way to describe these two teams. And I'm glad this one is being played indoors because you're going to have two of the best offenses in the state going at it today. Dave, let's talk about it. First, for Lewisville, a true wishbone offense, and they start with their quarterback, Chad Nelson.
Well, there's no doubt that Chad Nelson is the leader of that Lewisville offense, and the key to the success of the wishbone attack is the quarterback making good split-second decisions, and Chad Nelson has made good decisions all year as to whether to keep the ball or pitch it.
Now, you see a lot of times the running back is most successful in a wishbone offense, but in Lewisville's case, it's the fullback, Dwayne Brazil.
Well, and what stands out about Dwayne Brazil is his great size for a high school running back. He's 5'11" and 220 pounds. And he's rushed for over 1,300 yards and has 16 touchdowns.
Shift gears. Let's talk about the Macarthur Generals. They have a sophomore, folks, who is as good as it gets at quarterback, Odell James.
He may be a sophomore, but he also may be the best athlete on the field. He's got great size for a quarterback. He's 6'3", 195 pounds. And Coach Albert says that he may be the best quarterback in the state.
Well, the number 2 in that 1-2 punch is a young man by the name of Delbert Garner, and he can get it done as well.
Well, he can definitely get it done, and you can look at the stats. Without him, for the first 6 games, they averaged 21 points a game. He's been with them the last 9 games. The offense has averaged over 30 points a game. So he's key to their attack.
All right, the stage is set. Let's go back down and check in with Craig Way.
Kevin, if you're looking for omens going to this afternoon's contest, take a look at the fact that it's a greater Houston area school taking on a greater Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex area school. The last time one school from the Dallas-Fort Worth area took on a school from the greater Houston area here in the Astrodome was 3 years ago when Aldine High School captured the 5A Division II state crown, defeating Arlington Lamar 27-10. Coming up, we'll take a look at these two teams in depth, Lewisville and Aldine Macarthur here in the Astrodome. Today's Division II state championship game is being brought to you by Alamo Rent-A-Car, presenting sponsor of the 1993 Texas High School Football Playoffs. By Gatorade Thirst Quencher for that deep down body thirst. And by Savan, the original 100% cotton, no wrinkle pen. We'll be back with the kickoff of today's game in just a moment.
They say what you drive says a lot about you. If you wanted to say all the right things, Chevrolet and Geo can do just that. Right now, get to know Geo Prism for only $189 a month for 36 months. And you'll get dual airbags, AM/FM stereo, AC, and more. So that makes you good-looking, secure, and intelligent. Says all the right things to me. Make your money count. See your local Chevy Geo dealer today.
Look for the new design in Astros gear in February.
Rocket basketball on HSE. You're facing the action. Shooting. Rebounding. Passing. Defense.
Houston. Live Thursday night at 7:30 on HSE.
Don't miss it.
Back to the Astrodome in Houston, Texas. Now let's go down onto the field for the playing of our national anthem. The playing of our national anthem, and we're getting ready to get underway for a Texas State Division II 5A championship. Now let's go down and check in with our sideline reporter, Craig Way. Craig?
Well, Kevin, one thing to keep in mind, this being state championship Saturday, games across the Lone Star State will be played in some dreary conditions. Outside the Astrodome right now, you can see rainy, cloudy, murky conditions as drizzle falls, but inside, underneath the paneled roof of the Dome Stadium here in the Astrodome, it's a toasty 72 degrees. In fact, it's perfect weather, perfect football conditions for option football, Kevin.
That's one of my comments in the open, Craig, was that I was talking about that offense, two explosive offenses. I'm glad this one, after you drive to the Dome today, you're glad this one is being played indoors because weather will not be a factor. The officials for today's game, Ray Hudson, the referee. The umpire is Larry Cole. L.D. Dick is the line judge. The head linesman, Bob Burton. And Don Bridges is our back judge. The Lewisville Fighting Farmers come in at 14-0-1. The Macarthur Generals at 12-3, and there's Ronnie Gage in his third year as the head coach at Lewisville. He spent 8 years there as an assistant.
Tell you a little bit about the coin toss. Lewisville won the coin toss. They deferred to the second half, and they will be kicking to the Macarthur Generals.
Delbert Garner and David Patterson back deep, and we are underway from the Astrodome in Houston. It's David Patterson from the 5-yard line. Patterson finds a crease and gets out over the 25-yard line, out to the 28, and that is where the Generals of Macarthur will start. First down and 10.
Zeb Cornist with a shoestring tackle. One of the starters coming down on that kickoff coverage for Lewisville.
David Patterson, only a sophomore. He will have a lot to say about this, how this offense works today, and so will that man right there, Odell James, another sophomore. Rushed for over 1,400 yards and thrown for over 1,100 yards. First down and 10, the first play of the game. Quarterback draw, closed up nicely. The interior line, Merritt and Collinsworth, the first guys to get there. Also, Bonenberger, the nose tackle. Let's set the offense. The backs and receivers, the Y-back, Raymond Robinson, they will really throw to him a lot. Roberts Patterson, that's Satish Hodge, the fullback, and Delbert Garner, the all-everything tailback. Offensive line, they are big. It's Venegas, Babcock, Sosa, the anchor in the middle, and then Gonzalez and Brock, the left side of that line, particularly big. Venegas at 265 and Babcock at 245. They'll throw on second down, incomplete. Intended for Johnny Roberts, but he was separated from the football by Blaine Harrington. On the defensive side, the front seven, really the strength of this Fighting Farmer defensive line. Cornist and Branch, the ends. Merritt and Collinsworth, and then Bonenberger, the nose guard in the middle. The backers, That's Brazil and Welton. Brazil, he's as good as they get. He is only a sophomore. Defensive backs, Cotton and Frazier on the corners. Blaine Harrington with that big hit. Free safety to White Hunter. Sprint draw. Garner out near the 40-yard line, will probably be short of a first down. He got very close on third down. John Carroll made the hit.
Macarthur starting here with looking as if they want to set up the pass and set up the pass for the draw. Odell James going back the first play with a quarterback draw and then throwing a pass, and that time going with a draw again.
There's Bob Alpert in his 11th season at Macarthur. 96 wins, 32 down, and 2 ties. The 8th playoff appearance for the Macarthur Generals.
Boy, early to go for it in the ball game on 4th and 1 deep in your own territory, but here they are.
4th down and a foot. Garner didn't get there.
So the first big decision of the game by Coach Alpert is to go for it on 4th and 1 inside their own 40 for Macarthur. Lewisville up to the task. They stop Macarthur short of the first down. You'll see it here.
Watch Dan Merritt.
Great penetration.
Number 61 shot through there. That is his 16th tackle of the season for a loss. He leads the Fighting Farmer defense.
So Lewisville will start now in great field position at the 38-yard line in Macarthur territory.
And there's Chad Nelson on first down. They hand it off. Brazil, and Brazil just back to the line of scrimmage. So these two high-powered offenses have been kept in check so far. Anthony Williams made the hit. The backs and receivers this way. Newsom the split end. Holland is one back. He's the H-back. And then Mitchell the other H-back. Brazil the fullback. And Martin Simmons, when they throw it, they'll throw it to the tight end Simmons. Offensive line, these guys are big as well. Zelith and Anderson are the tackles. Phillips and Clark the guards. And Brett Johnson, the guy in the middle. 2nd down, 11. Brazil loses 1 on first down. Option, Nelson. Nelson cuts it up. Nelson will score. For Chad Nelson, and with 4.5 speed, once he turned the corner, nobody was going to catch him.
What a great job by the offensive line and the tight ends for Lewisville. Once Nelson got outside of the containment, he was gone. There was nobody close to him. He outran everybody. And here's the try for point.
Topher Roach is perfect. It didn't take much time. It took the Fighting Farmer offense only 2 plays to take it in from 38 yards out, and we have got a new score at the Astrodome. The Fighting Farmers of Lewisville 7, the Macarthur Generals nothing. We'll be back to the Dome in Houston in just a moment.
A decade of sports, 10 years of entertainment. HSE.
The power, the punishment, the pain. The ultimate sports spectacular. Now you can relive the excitement on home video with Top Rank's greatest knockouts. Volumes 1 and 2. Together on one full-length cassette. Legends like Hagler, Hearns, Arguello, Duran. 22 knockouts that changed boxing history. The courage, the champions, and the cheap shots. This is non-stop action, up close and in your face. Call now to order. The winner by a knockout. Top Rank's greatest knockouts. Volumes 1 and 2. Together only $19.98. Don't miss the bell. Call now.
Call now to order Top Rank's greatest knockouts. This video makes the perfect gift. Sorry, no CODs. For faster delivery, please have your credit card ready. Call 1-800-592-1222. That's 1-800-592-1222.
Southwest Conference Women's Basketball. Defending national champions and perennial powerhouses. The Southwest Conference, a tradition as big as Texas and Arizona. Live Tuesday night at 9 on HSE.
With Dave Elmendorf and Craig Way, I'm Kevin Eschenfelder, back to the Astrodome in Houston, Texas. And we got a dose of just how difficult it is to stop the triple option.
On the second play from scrimmage, they break the bone, does Lewisville, and they'll have a trailing back. But watch Chad Nelson as he will start outside. And the beauty of the option is to make cornerbacks make a decision one way or the other, and then you'll see it here. Chad Nelson will run the option. And watch the cornerback, Stephen Glenn. He can't make a decision on whether or not to go for Chad Nelson or whether to go for the pitch man. He's out off balance. Nelson goes right by him, outruns everybody, and it's a touchdown for Lewisville.
A fair catch is taken on the kickoff. Bruce Young made the fair catch for Macarthur. That's a heads-up play for a high school player. To call that fair catch, you know you're not back there to run it back. And it was a short kick, and Bruce Young did just that. So now Odell James, although he sees his team down 7-0, his ball club has been there before. This Macarthur team, this was a team that they weren't sure if they were going to make the playoffs. They had lost 3 consecutive district games during the season.
Well, and they got one through a forfeit to Aldine that they lost 18-17, and that's what got them in the playoffs. But here they are in the championship game.
Spread draw again, Delbert Garner. Garner bounces off the line of scrimmage, and that's it. A swarming defense for Lewisville. Reggie Crawford led the way. He came up from the strong safety position to make the play at the line of scrimmage. That'll tell you right there that Lewisville is daring Macarthur to throw the football. That last scoring drive for the Lewisville Fighting Farmers, it didn't take long. A 39-yard touchdown run by Chad Nelson. Now 2nd down and 9. The Macarthur Generals trying to get something going with 9 minutes to go in the first quarter. Odell James on the option. James maybe a couple. Going is tough again, and again we'll call the number 9, Reggie Crawford. Also Zach Weldon.
This is the counter option. Odell James moves to his left, reverses his field and comes back, but it didn't fool Lewisville at all. They have got great speed and quickness on this defense, and they have not been fooled at all by the option attack from Macarthur.
Well, 3rd down and 11 coming up for the Macarthur Generals. One thing about the defenses is the fact that every week or every day they see an option offense. Looking to throw. James will cut it up, knocked out of bounds, and Macarthur will have to punt.
This time Macarthur goes to a slot formation to the left, and they roll James out behind that slot. He couldn't find anybody open. Lewisville downfield with great coverage. He had to eat the football, and it's 4th and 10. And so far, Lewisville is controlling this football game.
So Dwight Hunter will go deep. Jeremy Lorette will kick it away. Lorette, a 34-yard average. And Lewisville plays the return. Dwight Hunter. Hunter at midfield. And now Lewisville, in a game of field position, has owned this ball game.
Hunter showing great courage there. He caught that ball just before he was hammered. He bounced off a 1 tackle, but Macarthur had good coverage following that initial tackler.
Lewisville has outscored their opponents in the playoffs now 210-74. We're going to take a timeout. They like what they've seen so far in the Astrodome. It's 7-0 Lewisville.
Nowadays, you see more and more Alamo cars in America's business regions. From the Sun Belt to the Grain Belt to inside the Beltway. You see our Cadillacs on Wall Street and our convertibles in Tinseltown. No matter which belt, coast, or loop you travel to on business, you're in Alamo territory with more on-airport locations than ever, and all the miles free, including those in places where doing business isn't all business.
After smashing all records at Escambia High School in Pensacola, Florida, Emmitt Smith went on to become the leading rusher in Florida Gator history. Drafted by Dallas in 1990, Emmitt defied critics and became the leading rusher in the NFL in 91 and 92. Hi, I'm Gene Deckerhoff. Who will be the next Emmitt Smith? Who are the top prospects around the country? In what collegiate program will win the annual recruiting award? Don't miss the show that will uncover the college and NFL stars of tomorrow. Reebok Preseason's College Football Recruiting 93.
Saturdays on HSE. Celebrate the new year with HSE. College basketball continues with more slamming action from the men and women of the SWC, Big 8, and across the nation. Catch all the thrills of World Cup soccer with the U.S. World Cup team. The NBA is high fives over the thrilling action of the Rockets and Mavericks. The NHL is red hot with the explosive excitement of the Dallas Stars. The New Year celebration is right here this January on HSE.
Ronnie Gage in his triple option shows that they're ahead 7-0. Now let's go down with a Gatorade sideline report. Here's Craig Way. Craig?
Well, Kevin, the last time the Farmers had the football, as we all saw, it only took them 2 plays to score. After that touchdown, the defensive coaches for Macarthur went over, sat down with their kids and said, hey, nobody's hurt. Got a long football game to go. Relax, make your right reads. Don't panic right now. Still a long way to go, Kevin.
You're right about that, especially with the big play offense of Macarthur. Chad Nelson under center. The 2 Lewisville drives have started inside Macarthur territory. Brazil in the middle. Maybe a couple. Anthony Williams, the first man to get to him.
He may have gotten a couple, but he got those couple on his own. He was hit right at the line of scrimmage and bounced off of people. We talked about his size at 220 pounds, 5'11". He picked up 2 on his own, and it'll be a 2nd and 8 for Lewisville.
Lewisville at 14-0-1. Macarthur at 12-3. 5A Division II state championship from the Astrodome. 8 minutes to go in the first quarter. Lewisville leading 7-0. They'll throw it. Incomplete. In and out of the hands of Martin Simmons. A big hit, though, by Charlie Foster, the 6', 185-pound senior.
Interesting formation for Lewisville. They'll double break the bone. They put a wingman and then go motion with another man, and the ball is right in Simmons' hands, but he's unable to hold on to it. Got a big hit right as the ball got there.
Yeah, Charlie Foster did a good job separating flesh from football that time. So now a 3rd down and 8. Lewisville from the Macarthur 48-yard line. Up the middle, Brazil well short of the first down, inside the 45 to the 44. Shadrick George, the 220-pound senior, made the hit for Macarthur.
You know what's interesting about Lewisville and their wishbone attack? They give you so many different looks out of the wishbone. That time they split both tight ends out. They had 2 men in the slots and only 1 running back in the backfield, that being Brazil. And of course, they gave the ball to him, but they also can throw out of it. So a lot of misdirection in this wishbone attack.
So now a 4th down and 4. Topher Roach is in to punt it away for Lewisville. Only 2 on the play clock, and Lewisville wisely will call a timeout. I don't know why.
Well, I don't know if that's wisely or not.
You're right.
The 5-yard penalty where they're located now doesn't really hurt them. They could have gone back to the 48-yard line, and it probably gives them a better situation. But it's a state championship game, and sometimes the decisions aren't the best.
All right, we're going to take a timeout. 7-0. Lewisville leads it.
When you go out to play, you're going to get thirsty. And when you're thirsty, you better have your Gatorade. It goes down easy, quenches to the core. Quenches your deep down body thirst 30% faster than water.
Nobody brings you more blow-by-blow boxing than Prime.
Nailed again with the right and the left.
We take you ringside across the U.S.
Edwards is on wobbly legs. Set to go down, and he does. He has landed on the table right in front of us.
We cover the blockbusters in Europe.
That's a better punch. That hurt him at last. Bruno got through a punch that hurt him. He's come out almost on top of it.
Knock yourself out with boxing on HSE.
Oh, baby. It's got to be funky.
Because the The arenas are rocking in the SWC. The Southwest Conference. The tradition rolls on all season on HSE.
With Dave Elmendorf and Craig Way, I'm Kevin Eschenfelder. Lewisville leads Macarthur 7-0 HSC, and how about them Farmers? They've been impressive so far.
Well, on the other side of that sign, it says, "We want Judson." I guess they want to consolidate the state championship for 5A here in Texas.
Topher Roach to punt it away. And hits a good one. Inside the 5-yard line, and boy, I tell you what, in a game of field position, it's been all Lewisville. Lewisville's 2 drives have started inside of Macarthur territory, and Macarthur hasn't been able to get anything going offensively.
Well, now that decision to take the timeout looks pretty good since he kicked it down to the 1-yard line.
I told you it was a good decision.
You said it. Yes, you did.
Well, the 12,000 members of the Texas High School Coaches Association offer congratulations to both teams in today's game. The THSCA is also proud of our 63 years of dedicated service to the youth of Texas. The first down and 10 for Macarthur from the 9-yard line. Odell James on the keeper, stayed right behind the fullback and picks up a few. Pete Bonenberger made the stop, the 255-pound senior for the Lewisville Fighting Farmers. Odell James has rushed, as I said, for over 1,400 yards, 21 touchdowns, and he's thrown for over 1,100 yards.
No, I was a little bit surprised with the way Macarthur started this ball game offensively, trying to set up the pass, and finally they go to what they do best, the option, and Odell James picks up 8 yards.
So a second down 2. Satish Hodge. Hodge back to the line of scrimmage, forget it. Jeff Branch, the first man to get to him, followed by Bonenberger again. And we have called the name of Pete Bonenberger a few times this afternoon already.
Lewisville winning the battle of the trenches here with their defensive line. Satish Hodge is forced to move sideways rather than upfield. You'll see him going sideways, and you can't make any yardage that way. He's sideways, and they make the stop for no gain, or maybe in a little bit of a loss, and I think we've got a 3rd and 3 situation now.
You don't want your fullback going east and west. You want him going north and south.
Absolutely.
So 3rd down and 2. Big 3rd down for Macarthur. Garner on the delay. Garner has the first down and more out of across the 20-yard line out to the 24. Zach Welton made the stop, but good job by the front 5 of Macarthur getting the job done in the trenches.
Oh, and a great job by Garner. Watch this spin move that allows him to break out of the tackle and get the first down. He's hit behind the line of scrimmage. Watch the spin move here, keeping his balance, and goes upfield. At that point, he didn't have it, but he was able to pick it up, and it's a first down for Macarthur. That's their first down of this ball game.
Delbert Garner, 5 yards a carry today. He's rushed for nearly 1,400 yards himself. Quick hitter. Odell James complete. Delbert Garner. And Garner gets ahead for a couple, but that play just way too slow in developing.
Absolutely. It was a possibility of a double pass. This was a lateral from James to Garner. Macarthur went what we call empty in the backfield. They had no running backs back there. You can see no backs behind Odell James. He throws a lateral here. This could have been another pass, and it looked like he might have wanted to throw it again. Nobody open, and it's a very, very short gain on a long pass play.
Blaine Herring, the first Fighting Farmer to get there. So 2nd down and 8. Garner on the misdirection. Cuts it against the grain out to the 30-yard line, but another 3rd down situation coming up. Ben Collinsworth made the hit, and that was all Delbert Garner because there wasn't a hole there.
It's a little short reverse. You put Garner out at the wing. You'll see him on the top of your screen. He comes back in motion on the reverse, a short reverse, and he gets a little bit of a hole, but he does a lot of spinning there and picks up 4 or 5 yards.
So 3rd down and 4. Odell James will tuck it up and run. James has the first down out to the 41-yard line. Zach Welton made the hit, but that'll give you an idea just how talented that young man is.
Well, Macarthur on the move. Coach Alpert made the comment in this morning's paper that what Odell James brings to this team is when his receivers are covered, he can make something happen. You see that right here. He rolls out to his left, finds no receivers open, and moves it upfield for the first down and keeps this drive alive.
Jose Venegas made a great block out there, the left tackle for the Macarthur Generals. First down and 10, another pitch pass. They'll try to throw it deep. It was knocked away. But Marcus Elizondo, the backup quarterback, had checked in at the wide receiver position, and he was trying to throw that one downfield.
Same play they tried to throw to Garner to the other side. This time they had a quarterback out to the left. You see it here. It's a lateral. He had Patterson streaking deep, but his arm was hit as he tried to throw the ball. But Patterson was pretty well covered downfield. I don't think this was going to be a successful play had he gotten it off.
Dwight Hunter coming on the safety blitz. You know, he fumbled really when he caught the ball. He didn't catch it cleanly. That's the first step to that play. Their second down, 10 to go. Delbert Garner again. Garner back to the line of scrimmage. Dan Merritt. He has a broken growth plate. That's what he has in that left arm, but still playing.
And we've called his name several times here in this first quarter. That Lewisville defense, very effective in stopping the run. This is just the pitch sweep. Quarterback will just turn around and toss it to the tailback, but it was not very successful. Picked up no yards.
Third down, 10. Macarthur 2 for 4 on the third down conversions. Odell James, he's got a gun, and he will gun it. Complete. They call it complete to Delbert Garner.
Boy, he threaded the needle with this pass. Garner on an out pattern at about 13 yards. Odell James goes back into the pocket, rolls a little bit to his left. Garner's running the out back to the left. He rolls a little left, sets up, and watch this bullet. Throws it through traffic. Ooh, just missed it. Nice catch by Garner going down on the carpet to pick up the ball. And the drive stays alive on a 3rd and 10 completion of 13 yards. Odell James pretty excited about that one. I said to you before the ball game, Kevin, I felt like the team that was better at throwing the football today could very well be the team that wins the game. So far, Macarthur is winning that battle.
That's the 8th catch of the season as you look at Delbert Garner's numbers. Again, they'll throw it. And this one is picked off to Dwight Hunter. Hunter down the sideline. And finally down inside the 40-yard line. Satish Hodge made the tackle. One thing about Odell James, he has thrown 11 interceptions. A 30-yard return for Dwight Hunter, his 11th interception of the season.
As good as that last pass to Garner for the first down was, this one was equally as bad. He overthrows the receiver. You'll see it here. Just a 2-step drop, but he way overthrows the ball, hangs it up. Hunter just picks it off, picks it right out of the air and returns it 30 yards to give the Farmers great field position inside the Macarthur 40.
Lewisville has had the ball 3 times. All 3 times it started inside Macarthur territory. This one is sniffed out nicely. Waylon Holland tried to turn the corner, the 170-pound junior, but Stephen Glenn, the left defensive cornerback, came up and made the stop.
But not before Holland picked up 6 yards, and Nelson once again with those split-second decisions got out there, saw that the contained man was coming toward him, so he pitches it to Holland, and it's a nice game for the Farmers.
Under 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. Lewisville with the football. They lead it 7-0. Brazil ahead for a couple more. Third down and short is coming up. Check it. That was Byron Mitchell on the carry.
Right. Mitchell just off left tackle on the misdirection there. Send the fullback one way, bring Mitchell off of his behind. And very short gain there. Still going to be a 3rd and 2.
Byron Mitchell is rushed in this backfield. Byron Mitchell's rushed for 700 yards. Dwayne Brazil has rushed for 1,300 yards. And Waylon Holland has rushed for 600 yards. And then you got a quarterback that has rushed for 900 yards.
Who do you stop?
Looking for the third down conversion again. The keeper, Chad Nelson, pitches it back beautifully. It's fumbled, and Macarthur has the football. Charlie Foster got on it for the Generals of Macarthur. Byron Mitchell, I don't think was expecting.
No, it was a surprise to Mitchell. This was a great play by Chad Nelson. As he's going down, he's still got his pitch man trailing him. And that was Byron Mitchell, but I don't think he saw the ball coming. He was not anticipating the football. It falls on the ground, and it stops the Lewisville drive. But watch it here. Great faking. Gets outside. He's got enough for the first down, but as he's going down, he wants more. Pitches it right to Mitchell. Looks like Mitchell did see it. He just dropped the football. And Macarthur will take over at the 23-yard line. That stops. Macarthur has just dodged a bullet, trailing 7-0 in Lewisville on the move, but fumble away the drive.
Turnovers are even. Odell James right behind the fullback across the 30 to the 32-yard line.
When you've got a quarterback the size of Odell James at 6'3" and 195, I really do like this play. Ride the fullback into the line and then follow him right through. It's just like a lead blocker, and you'll see it here. He rides the fullback 35 and then just gets right on his butt and heads on up the field. Picks up about 8 yards, 2nd and 2.
Like following an offensive guard that can run.
That's exactly right.
30 seconds to go in the first quarter. Try it again. Odell James, not this easy this time.
Looks like he'll be just a little bit short of the first down. Less than a yard short of the first down.
Shannon Brazil, the first man to get there.
That'll probably be the last play of the first quarter.
Under 10 seconds to go. You see it there on your screen. They'll let the time expire in the first quarter of play. So 1 quarter down, 3 to go for a Texas 5A Division II state championship. And right now, we've got a good one. The Lewisville Farmers leading the Macarthur Generals 7-0.
A decade of sports, 10 years of entertainment. HSE. Check out the sticks, the big sticks. Shots, shots, shots. The hot shots of the NHL get their AT on Fruit Presents Hockey Week. Every week on HSE.
Start the second quarter of play, 7-0 Lewisville over Macarthur. Let's check in with Craig Way, a Gatorade sideline report. Craig?
Kevin, we're over here on the Lewisville sideline with a group known as the Rowdy Crowd. Now, why do they call you the Rowdy Crowd? I think you can hear why they're called the Rowdy Crowd, Kevin.
They've been rowdy so far. Leading 7-0, the Lewisville faithful. But Odell James wants to say something about that. Odell James has the first down on that big third down in one play. Zach Welton made the hit.
You know, even when James breaks loose and it looks like he may go a long way, I'm real impressed with Lewisville's quickness and speed. They shut it down quicker than you would expect. It looks like it's going to be a much bigger play than actually happens. That time he picked up 4 or 5 yards. It looked like he'd go a long way.
Just underway in the second quarter with Craig Way and Dave Elmendorf. I'm Kevin Eschenfelder. Happy holidays to you from all of us at HSE. And glad you could be with us for the Texas 5A Division II State Championship. This one's complete. Raymond Robinson, and Robinson could go. Inside the 20 to the 19-yard line to White Hunter. Finally caught up with him. A gain of 42 yards.
You run the option, you run the option, you run the option, and then you fake the option and you stand up and throw the ball to a big, fast tight end. Watch him fake it here. Fake to the fullback, stand up and throw the football. And it's a foot race. Eric Atsuji on the way. He's taken down at the last minute, the last line of defense, Dwight Hunter.
Raymond Robinson at 6'2", 205. A big target there at tight end. Odell James hurdles the 15 down to the 10-yard line, and the Macarthur Generals are rolling. Zach Welton knocked him off his feet.
Here it is again. That same fullback lead. This time Odell James very successful with it, almost a first down. Great play. You've got a good blocking fullback. Just fake to him and then follow him right through the hole.
A gain of 9, second down and 1. From the 10-yard line, quarterback sneak. They picked up the first down. So now it'll be first down and goal as they mark him down, I believe, at the 8-yard line. It's been the Odell James show so far. Both good and bad. He's thrown an interception. He's thrown for big pass plays. Bob Alpert extremely excited about this young man. He'll have him for 2 more seasons after this one.
He really showed a lot of poise on that big completion to Raymond Robinson.
From the 8-yard line. Odell James, touchdown Macarthur. The 22nd touchdown of the season for Odell James.
This looked like the parting of the Red Sea right up the middle. It's like a little quarterback draw. He just steps back and then heads upfield, and it's a touchdown for Macarthur. The point could tie it.
David Saldivar. And it's blocked. This is only the second game David Saldivar has been able to kick. Last week when he attempted an extra point, he missed it.
It looks like a jailbreak from the right side here. Number 24 and number 23 both in there.
It looked like 3 people got to it. 10:04 to go, a new score. The Farmers lead it by a score of 7-6. We're back to the Astrodome in just a minute.
Nowadays, you see more and more Alamo cars in America's business regions. From the Sun Belt to the Grain Belt to inside the Beltway. You see our Cadillacs on Wall Street and our convertibles in Tinseltown. No matter which belt, coast, or loop you travel to on business, you're in Alamo territory with more on-airport locations than ever and all the miles free, including those in places where doing business isn't all business.
College hooping, fast breaking, monster jamming, quick releasing, net singing. Figaro. Zone teeing, ball thieving, coast to coast, sweet dishing, always finishing.
No, that's right.
Rim hanging, trash talking, floor mopping, cheerleading. No. Fancy dribbling, alley-ooping, fans love it, ranting, raving, brick throwing, mason laying. Not in my house. No looking, clean driving, basket ringing, in your facing. HSE's hooping across the nation.
Radon is a deadly radioactive gas. You can't see it or smell it. But it's the second leading cause of lung cancer in America. However, testing your home for radon is easy. And fixing a radon problem is a lot smarter than living with it.
Lewisville leads it 7-6, but Odell James gets Macarthur on the board.
Take a look here. He'll fake it and run it right up the middle. And one of the defensive backs for Lewisville, that would be Dwight Hunter. Watch it here.
Watch number 3.
I think he thinks that the 5-yard line is the goal line. He just stops and doesn't make the tackle. And Odell James goes into the end zone. He'll take some razzing about that one when they look at this film. But he probably thought the 5-yard line was the goal line and didn't want to hit him after he crossed the goal line.
There's Dwight Hunter right there, but he had a big interception earlier in this ball game. Dwight Hunter and LaDarren McClain back deep.
You know, there's been a lot of talk about Macarthur and the trouble they've gone through all season long. They lost 5 starters to no pass, no play, and a lot of those were in the offensive line, so they've had problems there, but they've come back from all of the adversity, and here they are playing in the state championship game.
David Saldivar will kick it away for Bob Alpert's crew. Saldivar, like I said, the first game he has ever kicked was last week on a varsity level. Low liner. This is going to work out real well. LaDarren McClain all the way back at the 5. I call that one out to the 13-yard line.
You know what this reminds us of is last week, the first kickoff of the second half.
Armin Love was down there on the coverage. Much harder to field a kick that is rolling around like that, the squib kick. Macarthur's drive, 7 plays, 76 yards, and Odell James takes it in from 8 yards out. Take a little less than 3 minutes off the clock.
Well, Lewisville winning we got a player down, but Lewisville winning the battle of field position and making Macarthur go a long way to get it, and you've got those
Give
stats.
you an idea of how Lewisville has won the field position ball game. It's been like this. They have started at the Macarthur 29 at midfield and the Macarthur 39-yard line, but now they'll start it from inside their own 20. We're going to take a timeout with 9:58 to go. When we come back, we'll get an injury report for you. Lewisville leads it 7-6.
Time is money. And as the minutes count down to the new year, this couldn't be more true than at your Texas Ford dealers. Because as 94 approaches, they've got to move out all their cars and trucks. If you've been waiting for the best time to buy or lease, that time is now. Get low lease rates and big savings on every car and truck in stock. Time is on your side, but it's ticking away. So get to your Texas Ford dealers now before year-end clearance slips away.
What time is it? Time for NBA action. A high-flying hoop show that's on top of the game. You get it all.
Here's Isaiah.
The hottest players and teams. Your favorite personality. And the greatest plays of the week. All this and more coming your way in NBA action.
Tuesday nights at 6:30 on HSE.
Baseball's greatest games come to life.
Drive. If it stays fair, home run. Number 6 for North Ryan.
Baseball's greatest games. Wednesday nights at 10 on HSE.
A decade of sports, 10 years of entertainment. HSE. You are watching Prime Network, serving America's great sports networks. This Prime Network presentation will continue after this.
Yo, check it out. Here's what I gotta know.
Did you guys come out to play or what?
Oh, showtime. Come out to play. Yo, any Gatorade in the house, y'all? This thirst is getting deeper.
Gatorade, can you quench my thirst all the way to the soles of my size 13s?
So if you come out to play without your Gatorade, you better
call your mother to pick you up.
Gatorade thirst quencher for that deep down body thirst.
Nobody brings you more blow-by-blow boxing than Prime.
Nailed again with the right and the left.
We take you ringside across the U.S.
Edwards is on wobbly legs. Set to go down, and he does. He has landed on the table right in front of us.
We cover the blockbusters in Europe.
That's a better punch. That hurt him at last. Bruno got through a punch that hurt him. He's come out almost on top of me.
Knock yourself out with boxing on HSE.
Rocket basketball on HSE. You're facing the action. Shooting. Rebounding. Passing. Defense. Bang, it's got to happen.
Denver and Houston, live Thursday night at 7:30 on HSE.
Don't miss it.
Lewisville leads at 7-6 back in the Astrodome in Houston, Texas, home of the Houston Oilers and Houston Astros. And oh, by the way, speaking of the Houston Astros, HSE's got a special show for all you baseball fans in the audience. It's called Astros Up Close, a preview of the 1994 Houston Astros. Join Bill Worrell. He will host this special 2-hour sports talk show, and you'll get your chance to talk with General Manager Bob Watson, new skipper Terry Collins. So if you want to know what's happening this offseason in baseball, tune into Astros Up Close Wednesday night at 8 on HSE. Macarthur has gotten the job done offensively, but on the scoreboard, Lewisville leads it 7-6.
Lewisville scoring on the second play of their first possession, and they've been hard pressed to move the football since. Tried a dive right up the middle that time. Looks like they'll have an injured player down on the field.
It is Buddy Phillips, a 3-year starter, the 220-pound senior who is down for Lewisville. That could be really big to that offensive line.
We were looking at the players' sizes before the ball game, and both of these teams have some large players. Overall, last week we looked at some players in the line that were, you see Buddy Phillips there at 220 pounds, but we looked at some players in the line that were playing offensive and defensive line in the 180, 190 pound range, but all of these guys over 200 pounds. We'll hope that Buddy Phillips is able to return, get up and go, and it looks like they're checking his knee. That's not a good sign, but it looks like they're going to get him up and get him to walk on it.
At the top of that trainer's head there on the left, he's got LHS painted on it.
Oh, there it is.
There you go.
He sure does. He's dedicated.
They're going to check out Buddy Phillips. We'll get an injury report for him. You know,
it looks like he's moving pretty well as he gets closer to the sideline. A little bit of a limp, but it's getting better and better. And now one of the trainers has let him go, and I think we may see Buddy Phillips back in the ball game.
Tommy Kilman has come in and replaced Buddy Phillips. For 2nd down and 6. Brazil. Well, Brazil is rocked after a gain of about 4. It's going to be a 3rd down coming up. If you just joined us, Lewisville scored on the 2nd play of their first possession on a 39-yard run by their quarterback, Chad Nelson. But since then, in their last 4 drives, they have gone 3 plays and punt, 3 plays and punt, 2 plays and a fumble, and 3 plays and punt.
And the best drive of those 4 was the one where they fumbled. They were on their way. And it was a good play. Nelson had picked up the 1st down when they fumbled.
Lewisville is not converted on 3rd down today. Nelson won't convert this time either. Don Sewell, the outside linebacker, the first man to get there.
Boy, it so often happens when you've got 2 high-powered offenses, you tend to forget the defense. And we've got a defensive struggle here, even though we've got 2 great offenses on the field. Watch it here. It's going to be very close. Fake to Brazil, and then follow it upfield. He moved back inside. It looks like he may have gotten just enough for the 1st down. Nope, they'll say it's short by about a yard, a little less than a yard.
And Lewisville will punt. That's Joseph Eaton also in there on the play for Macarthur as you look at the replay. Eaton, 180-pound junior. And now Lewisville to punt. Topher Roach as Delbert Garner and David Patterson sit in a dual safety, and here's a fake. Topher Roach, did he get the first down?
Did.
He sure did.
Depends on his play. He's going to be right at the 40-yard line, which is going to be about a foot past the stick. I don't think Macarthur was surprised. It was just good execution on the part of Topher Roach. He found a hole where he could pick up 2 feet.
Boy,
Take a look here. Back there to punt. Nice snap. He looks ahead. Oh, pulls it down and says, oh, I think I'll try to pick up the first down. An excellent effort there to dive forward to get the first down at the 40-yard line.
I would be curious to know if that play was called in the huddle. Handed off, first man through again, Dwayne Brazil.
Brazil, their leading rusher, picks up another 5.
Sewell with the stop. Second down and 5 coming as we count down to 3:45 to go at halftime. I want to remind you to be sure and stay with us at halftime. We'll take a look at both the Macarthur General Marching Band and the Lewisville Fighting Farmer Marching Band. That's all coming up at halftime. Also, Craig Way will have some special guests stopping by. Brazil has been kept in check this afternoon. 6 carries, the 22 yards you saw. Second down and 5. Now here comes Chad Nelson, and Nelson at the 40. It's a foot race, and Chad Nelson will go all the way. Touchdown, Lewisville. 55 yards.
Boy, is he exciting to watch. He takes this one almost right up the middle. They broke the bone, put both halfbacks as wingbacks, brought one in motion, faked to the fullback, and then went back to the opposite direction. Started to the right, went back left, just a little sidestep up the middle, and once he broke into the clear, there was nobody that was going to catch him. He's rushed 4 times for 103 yards and has scored both touchdowns for Lewisville.
And the kick is good. They're going to have a roughing the kicker call as well. So Chad Nelson over 100 yards, and we still have 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. The Fighting Farmers lead it 14-6 in this Texas 5A Division II state championship.
Well, the point was good, and there'll be a penalty.
5-yard running into the kicker call on the kickoff.
They'll enforce that on the kickoff. Now take a look here as Chad Nelson, see the motion man, fakes to the fullback, then goes back the other way. The hole opens up great, and once he's in the clear in the secondary, nobody's going to catch him. He is off to the races. You see Charlie Foster trying to catch up to him, but he's not going to get there.
Running into the kicker.
Boy, howdy.
5-yard penalty.
This is an exciting runner.
Point's good.
Starts it to the left, cuts it back to the right, and nobody's going to catch it. Chad Nelson for the second touchdown for Lewisville, giving them a lead of 14-6.
There's Chad Nelson, and he is the fastest man in that backfield with that 4.5 speed. He showed it right there. He rushed for 141 yards last week versus Temple and 2 touchdowns. Right now he's already over 100 yards and has 2 touchdowns and only a half of football. That is the 16th touchdown of the season for Chad Nelson.
Well, and for the season, he's averaging 7.6 yards a carry. Got 932 yards on 122 carries. 14 touchdowns, now he has 16.
Topher Roach will kick it away. Happy to be Farmers, and that's the young man right there that really made that possible. It was his fake punt, Topher Roach, that got the first down, and one play later, here's a squib kick. It almost worked against Lewisville big time, but it's going to be great field position for Macarthur as Raymond Robinson played heads up and ran it back out near midfield out to the 47-yard line.
Lewisville trying a little bit of a trick play there. I don't know if they wanted to try to run under it or they thought they could get down and cover it, but the ball only went down to about the 35-yard line. So regardless, Macarthur was going to get good field position. And Robinson wisely moved it up to the 47-yard line.
3:07 to play in the first quarter. 14-6, Lewisville leading Macarthur. Delbert Garner hit at the line of scrimmage, will fall forward for a gain of 3. It was a blitzing Shannon Brazil who made the stop.
Odell James tripped as he was trying to go back and give the ball to the fullback. I think he might have been stepped on by one of his linemen. He was. His center stepped on his foot. He was falling down as he tries to give the ball to Garner, and it's a short gain of about 2 yards.
Out to midfield. 2.5 to go, first quarter. 2nd down and 7. Looking downfield big time. Caught by Raymond Robinson. Touchdown, Macarthur. $50 yards.
This was not poor coverage. Robinson just running a streak pattern right down the middle of the field. Blaine Herring, the strong safety, is in good position. Take a look at it here. Odell James goes back. Robinson running right down the middle of the field, but look at number 10, Blaine Herring. He has good position. He just misses the football. Robinson, with great concentration, pulls it down and takes it in for the touch. Take a look again. Little play action fake. But from this angle, you'll be able to see that Herring could have gotten a hand on it. But Robinson, with excellent concentration, nobody could stop him. He takes it in for the touch.
Watch Odell James, only a sophomore. Takes a look at it.
There, oh yeah, he got it.
Just another day at the office, fellas.
Just another 50-yard touchdown pass.
Now he's going to smile.
Of course, now Macarthur, trailing by 2, will attempt the 2-point conversion.
Called a timeout. Huddling up around Bob Alpert. You know, a lot of times you can see a quarterback who will throw for 1,500 yards or will rush for 1,500 yards, but rarely will you find a quarterback who has rushed for 1,500 yards and almost thrown for 1,500 yards.
Exactly right. And Odell James, as we said before, may be the best athlete on the field here this afternoon.
He is only a sophomore. He's 3 of 7 throwing the ball for 107 yards, 1 interception, 1 touchdown.
And how about Raymond Robinson there? Two receptions for 94 yards and a touchdown.
They're going for the 2-point conversion and the tie. And it's good. Delbert Garner. And we have got a tie ball game with 2:14 to go.
A lot of celebration here from the Macarthur faithful. Odell James rolls to his right. It's an option. He gets outside. He's got his fullback protecting him. He finds Garner. Little out pattern. Just get right across the goal line and turn around. I'll zip you the ball. That's exactly what happened. The Macarthur fans are very, very happy, and so is Coach Alpert.
Bob Alpert in his 11th season. He's seen a few of those in his time. And just like that, Macarthur right back in it. We talked about a game full of offensive home run hitters. So far, we have had 3 touchdowns for over 35 yards a pop. Nelson has scored from 38 yards out and 55 yards out, and Robinson has scored from 50 yards out. The only ho-hum touchdown in the ball game has been Odell James from 8 yards out. It's been a big play game.
Yes, it has, and both of these offenses, big play offenses, as we talked about at the top of the show. Odell James, a very exciting quarterback, even though he's very young. Chad Nelson certainly has been very, very impressive with his 2 long runs for touchdowns. And the receiving core also has been very impressive with Raymond Robinson.